Specialized medical treatment shortages leave patients to rely on care abroad. Young people step up to revive Timorese coffee farm. Timor-Leste celebrates ASEAN Day in Dili. Women still experiencing barriers in elite coaching. Welcome back to RTTL World News. I'm Zegeres. Over 100 patients have been sent to Malaysia and Singapore for medical treatment in the last 6 months, and many more are still on the waiting list. Most of the patients sent abroad or awaiting transfer need urgent treatment for cancer, heart surgery, and neurosurgery, treatments currently unavailable in Timor-Leste. Every year, the government spends millions of dollars to fund these medical treatments, funds that critics argue could be invested in upgrading domestic healthcare facilities.
4 months, the family waited, holding on to hope as they watched their son endure, praying for the treatment he desperately needed. On Friday, Marilu Souza dos Santos Lai finally moved to Malaysia for medical treatment.
He left with a serious health condition. We hope his treatment goes well and he can recover soon and return in a good condition.
Last year, the family noticed that Marilu's neck was swelling and immediately took him to several private clinics in Dili, including the National Hospital for Medical Care. However, it took months for him to be diagnosed with a cancer called Hodgkin's lymphoma, and the necessary treatment was not available at the National Hospital.
We as family brought him here every week for checkup in April 2026. I myself took him here to see doctors, and they informed us that he needed to be admitted for further treatment and be diagnosed. After he was admitted, the doctor did several tests, such as blood tests and X-ray. He was diagnosed with tumor cancer, and the doctors told us that they will send him overseas for treatment because of a lack of equipment and medication here.
Prior to his departure for Malaysia, Marilu was admitted as an inpatient at the National Hospital for 2 weeks.
We can say that his daily consumption is paracetamol and injections to stop the bleeding from the nose. The bleeding came out not for a minute, but for an hour and a half.
Battling a devastating illness, a 13-year-old Marilu was forced to walk away from his dreams, leaving his studies behind to fight for his life in Prince Court Medical Center, Malaysia. Marilu's story is far from unique. Over 100 patients currently remain on waiting lists for treatment abroad.
The list comes from the medical board, totaling more than 350 patients requiring overseas treatment, and 208 have been approved, but some hospitals have not given confirmation about when the patients will leave.
The government has an agreement with 3 hospitals in Malaysia and 1 in Singapore to provide medical care for patients requiring specialized care unavailable domestically. In the 2026 budget, the government allocated $19 million to pay for treatment and the government that for overseas treatment.
Sometimes the hospitals send us invoices. If we are late in paying, they add interest to the amount, which impacts our budget and causes debts. We pay the initial amount, but they apply interest.
In July, Prime Minister Sanana Gusmao revealed that the government had accumulated a $38 million debt to fund medical treatments abroad. Ultimately, the struggles of Marilu and so many others highlight a desperate desire for specialized care closer to home. Paulina Quintown, Jerry Madeira, RTTL World News.
Last week, the world celebrated International Youth Day, highlighting the roles of young people in the development and economic growth. As Timor-Leste joins the celebration, RTTL World News reporter Paulina Quintown traveled to Likisa municipality to learn how youth-led initiatives are helping coffee farmers elevate Timor-Leste's organic coffee industry.
Young people return to growing coffee. It's a busy morning for Mateus Casimiro and his colleagues in Darolete village, Likisa municipality, 2 hours drive west of Dili.
We are mostly farmers and we can't rely on the state. As young people, we have initiative to create a group to help our country because the benefits of the activities will return to us.
Maria Jose Suarez Candido has returned to Darolete after graduating from high school in Dili and is joining her young colleagues to develop seedlings and produce organic fertilizers.
My work is watering coffee seedlings and plants, putting soil into polybags, helping my parents make terraces and produce compost.
Mateus and Maria's group has trained to create organic compost from banana tree parts, various plants, animal waste, and burnt coffee parchment. Production only began last month, so the fertilizer has not yet been distributed to farmers.
We have produced almost 2 tons of dried fertilizer and we have only produced 2 barrels of liquid fertilizer.
Over 70% of Timor-Leste's population are under 35 years of age. According to Timor-Leste's Labor Force Survey 2021, the general unemployment rate is 5.1%. Therefore, empowering these young people is crucial for the sustainable development of the coffee industry.
We young people have different minds. Some of us think if I work today, tomorrow I will get money, or if I work today, next month I will get paid. But the group we create think about the sustainability for our economy and long-term benefits for our family.
We learn how to produce organic compost, and I feel proud because I have knowledge to help my parents, who are now getting older. And as young people, I can continue their work because we have our own coffee farm.
The hard work is paying off. These young people and local farmers working together, cleaning weeds and fertilizing new coffee trees.
We learned from these young people about planting coffee, measuring the places to make terraces, and we planted other trees such as pineapple, durian, and rambutan. And today, they teach us to put compost on the new coffee we grow.
4,000 coffee seedlings have been planted, with another 2,000 ready for distribution. While world coffee prices have remained high, production has dropped significantly.
This year, we harvested less than 1 ton of coffee and got less than 500 kilos. In the previous years, we got 4 to 5 tons of Cherry's fresh coffee.
Last year we got $1,500. But this year it's hard to get even $100 income because most of the coffee trees are old and can't produce much.
Last year, the Australian-funded Market Development Facility partnered with the local company Auspan Agro Timor, drawing young people into the agricultural sector to expand large-scale production and boost export value.
Our assistance focuses on increasing the coffee production and the quality and the sustainability of coffee because in Likisa municipality, most of the coffee trees are old. So we created a group of young people to work on developing coffee seedlings and organic compost to distribute to local farmers, and it brings direct benefit for them through selling the organic compost they produce.
Besides training and developing coffee seedlings, the company also provides equipment to young farmers.
We have trained them and distribute equipment to the groups we established like sows, access, hose and a machine to cut the grass into small pieces, and we also provide training to farmers on how to modify old coffee trees, make terraces, produce organic compost, and expand coffee plantations to secure the sustainability of coffee, because coffee is an important product for us.
The return of young, innovative and skilled professionals will help local farmers expand coffee cultivation and boost the production of the country's largest agricultural export. Pauline Quintown, Judas Magno, RTTL World News.
Timor-Leste celebrated ASEAN Day with its eyes set on unlocking trade and investment opportunities in one of the world's largest markets. The young nation officially joined the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, ASEAN, in October last year. As the country now prepares to host its first ASEAN summit in 2029, a growing security threat looms in the background.
Timor-Leste hosted the celebration of the ASEAN 59th anniversary in Delhi last Saturday. The theme for this year's event is Navigating Our Future Together. Timor-Leste hopes its ASEAN membership can unlock economic opportunities for its people.
As a new ASEAN member state, Timor-Leste is committed to actively participating in the ASEAN economic community. We see ASEAN as an important pathway to strengthening our private sector, expand market opportunity, attract quality foreign investment, and create more jobs for our people, especially our young generation.
The regional grouping represents a combined population of over 678 million people and a total GDP of $3.9 trillion. Celebrating the ASEAN Day, the young nation is setting its sights on hosting the ASEAN Summit in 2029.
Join in ASEAN not only as new member, but as a partner ready to contribute. We reaffirm our commitment to the ASEAN Charter and to the principles and responsibilities of the membership.
The Philippine ambassador commended Timor-Leste's resilience and firm commitment to taking its place in ASEAN.
Timor-Leste is the most prepared ASEAN member. I have never seen such perseverance and determination to be part of this family that is ASEAN.
Beneath the celebrations, a major security threat looms over the region: the rise of online scams.
These kind of emerging threats, these are the main issues that always discussed at the agenda of the ASEAN Regional Forum meeting, post-ministerial conference last time in Manila. We saw this situation as very important, as a priority. So Timor-Leste, in coordination with ASEAN member states, we are now dealing with this situation.
Over the past 2 months, Timor-Leste has stepped up its crackdown on illegal online scams, arresting more than 350 foreign nationals. Last week, the Timorese government also approved a national plan to combat online scam networks, organized cybercrime, and human trafficking.
Through the Office of Prime Minister, have appointed Minister of Presidents of the Council of Ministers to handle this cybercrime program agenda. So the coordination is happening. We hope to see this to succeed and to bring more peace, stability, and development for our country, our people.
The move followed the warning from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime last year that Timor-Leste appeared to have been targeted by the transnational organized crime groups through criminal foreign direct investment. As Timor-Leste sets its sights on 2029, securing its digital borders will be just as vital as building the facility to welcome ASEAN. Jerry Madeira, RTTL World News.
The PALM scheme has become a popular means for Timorese to work overseas and gain special skills. In an interview this week with the Australian ambassador to Timor-Leste, Caitlin Wilson, the ambassador addresses issues concerning the PALM scheme and details benefits for those working on the scheme and for people wishing to know more about the program. What impact has the PALM scheme had on Timorese workers, their families, and the broader economy.
The benefits for Timorese, particularly workers, but increasingly we're offering opportunities for a smaller number to bring their families, is firstly employment. We're moving more into semi-skilled and skilled employment pathways for workers, and that also comes with specialist training, and it will be increasingly at certificate level, which is recognised by Australian employers. Thirdly, it's an income. What we've also seen is a large proportion of income being sent back to Timor-Leste as remittances. The skills we really see as a really fantastic part of PALM, and as I mentioned, it's an area that we're making stronger and making really more important. Practical skills including how you run a business, how you manage your budget, how you actually set up and employ other staff. Those are all skills you can take advantage of.
What sectors in Australia currently have the greatest demand for Timorese workers?
It's often in both unskilled and semi-skilled areas. So at the higher skilled, we look at areas such as nursing and medical assistance. So those are higher skills needing tertiary qualifications. Semi-skilled includes, as I mentioned, technical vocational skills, certificate standard skills, including in caring. So that's a really important area of employment in Australia, many employers in that area. We're increasingly also offering placements in hospitality and tourism.
There is a report from the UN Special Rapporteur that workers under the PALM scheme are being exploited through deceptive recruitment, excessive deductions and harassment. What was the government's response to this report?
The Australian government is certainly well aware of that report and has responded to the allegations in that report over several years. What I will say is that Australia has a zero tolerance approach to worker exploitation and also wants to ensure the protections of all workers. That includes workers who are employed under the PALM scheme. You may be aware that Australia has a very strong system of laws, worker and employment laws, protections, and a union system. This is for all workers. So what we have done for PALM workers over the last few years in response to these allegations is to make sure that the standards that are legislated for and the protections are even higher for people engaged under the PALM scheme. So what we reinforce for anyone who is working in Australia, and particularly for PALM workers who may not always have as strong English skills, is to know your rights and to know how to report.
Earlier this year, President Ramos Horta wrote an opinion piece arguing that the PALM scheme delivers far greater economic benefits to Australia than Timor-Leste and other participating countries. How does the Australian government respond to that assessment?
I would simply say that the PALM scheme is it's a scheme that offers mutual benefits. So it's supported with countries that have requested to participate in the scheme. It is a participatory scheme, so both employers and employees need to want to do the scheme. There are mutual benefits. So we would say that when you're comparing benefits, it's not going to give you the right story to try and compare economic benefits, because it has benefits for both. Some of the non-monetary benefits that we've discussed already are training, skilling, qualifications. In Australia, if you're an Australian resident or citizen, you have to pay to do skills and to get a qualification. When you have the opportunity to get skills as part of the program, then that's already an immediate benefit, but it may not have a monetary value associated. Now, of course, if you're working in Australia, you need to speak English. If you want to work in Quite a few parts of this region you need to speak English because it's the language of ASEAN. So this is a really great opportunity as well for skilling and having access to a new training area that has individual and professional benefits, both immediately and down the track.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Last week, 42 Sotokan Karatero members in the municipality of Lauteng took the BELT promotion exam. The grading session was overseen directly by national examiners, highlighting the growing standards of martial arts development in the region, while also identifying top talent for promotion to the national team. 6 months and 1 day sweating it out. Far from the modern facilities these athletes train in. Today is the day they are being tested to reach the next level.
I feel proud to have passed this exam.
I will continue to train hard so that I can get the brown belt.
This time, the exam is different. Every movement is monitored directly by examiners who come from the national level.
Judging by the 4 to 6 months of preparation the members have put in, they have made significant progress. There are few notes, particularly regarding their movements, but they are ready to advance to the belt level, so they all passed the exam.
Away from the national attention, athletes train with all their limitations. But their ambition never fades.
We don't just want to train here, but we also want to go to the national team to participate in the selection there.
It requires rigorous training because there are many national and international events, so we can bring in some national athletes from Lauteng in the future. We have years of experience. We have athletes from Lauteng who have consistently represented Timor-Leste at the international level.
Far from the hustle and bustle and modern sports infrastructure of the capital city of Dili, athletes train hard in the hope of one day becoming national athletes. Zagares, Nenito Jesus, RTTL World News. In international news, the number of female coaches in Australian high-performance sport has nearly tripled in the past 4 years to 26%, but systemic cultural barriers still remain, with leading mentors hoping to create change at all levels of sport.
One of Australia's most decorated Paralympians, Louise Savage, has been amongst a small number of women coaching at the elite level for the past 20 years.
It's been really good to see that infrastructure and also the investment into women's coaching.
It hasn't been an easy path, but she wants to see more women join her.
I think it's important that we encourage them to continue on in those roles and to show the identity and what we can bring as female coaches.
We've had a history where we've just had male coaches coaching our best athletes. We want to make sure the right people are coaching our athletes at the right time, female or male.
The AIS has been focused on growing the number of female head coaches in high-performance sport over the past 4 years. In that time, the figure has doubled to 26%.
That's it, faster.
But it's found there are still barriers, including poor recruitment processes, outdated work structures, and misogynistic and abusive behaviour.
When you talk about culture, I don't think that's actually unique to just high-performance coaches. As a system, we've had a real focus in the last couple of years of well-being being fundamental to high performance.
And there are still few elite coaches with disability.
It's unfortunate that there aren't as many. I'm not sure of all the barriers that exist. I suppose I've negotiated quite a lot myself, but there are more people there now that can help.
The AIS is now looking to work with more sports to go to the next level.
Adelaide's live music scene is sounding the alarm and asking for added government support to help grow local talent. It follows the shock cancellation of next year's Laneway Festival in Adelaide and Perth.
Adelaide punching above its weight with homegrown Aussie music acts. Their legacies immortalised forever. But the festival state has been snubbed again, this time by music festival Laneway, announcing it won't hold events in Adelaide or Perth next year.
That just reinforces Adelaide as the place that music is not happening, or that we can be bypassed or skipped over, and I don't think that's good enough for our industry, and it's not good enough for audiences.
Impacting local artists in what's already a low point for the live music industry.
Incredibly tough. In South Australia, I would say we at times do it even tougher.
In a statement on Instagram, Laneway says taking a pause allows it to focus on making the festival the best it can be. But it's not the only festival on a hiatus. Adelaide's Harvest Rock also announcing it would take a break in 2026.
Music SA says it doesn't support major festivals being propped up by the government, but says it is supportive of conversations, funding or policies that could help the live music industry get the shot in the arm it really needs.
What we've been able to display is that our major events have contributed significantly to putting South Australia on the map.
Meanwhile, the music industry is hoping those behind the exodus of festivals might soon change their tune.
And now tomorrow's weather, starting with Dili. Turning cloudy with a shower in the afternoon, with a top temperature of 32 and a low of 21 degrees. Mostly cloudy in Bokau, temperatures ranging between 29 and 17 degrees. Partly sunny in Lauteng with a high of 28 and a low of 19 degrees. In Bobonaro, turning cloudy with a couple of showers in the afternoon, a top temperature of 29 and a low of 14. Up in Eleu, mostly cloudy, temperatures ranging between 27 and 13. In Kupang, mostly cloudy with a couple of showers in the afternoon, a high of 32 and a low of 21. In Bali, humid with sunshine and a few clouds, with temperatures ranging between 34 and 18. Times of cloud and sun with a couple of showers in the afternoon in Jakarta, a top of 34 and a low of 24. Cloudy and not as warm, but humid. Rain during most of the afternoon in Seoul, a high of 27 and a low of 23 degrees. Partly sunny in Darwin, 32 and 21 degrees. In Sydney, cloudy in the morning with occasional rain, then cloud with some sun in the afternoon, a high of 19 and a low of 7 degrees. Lisbon, partly sunny in the afternoon and clear at the night. Temperatures ranging between 31 and 20 degrees. Partly sunny and pleasant in London, a top temperature of 25 and a low of 16. And in Belfast, some sun, then turning cloudy with a couple of showers in the afternoon, a top temperature of 19 and a low of 14 degrees. Thanks for joining us again on the program. RTTL World News will be back with more stories on Thursday. Bye for now.